Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. My name's Savannah and I am here today to tell you the 10 things that are actually worth doing in Seattle, the 10 things to add to your itinerary and really prioritize while you're there. I will also share with you the cost of doing such activities. If you haven't seen, earlier this year I spent a whole month in Seattle, so I have a lot of experience with the area. I kind of got to live there for a little bit, tried all the things, and I'm going to let you know which ones are the ones you should do and really which one you should do. We'll cut out the rest. So if you want to see any of those other videos, I have a 27-day series on my shorts page, and then I have 3 or 4 other Seattle videos if you want to see the longer content. But here, this is more of the itinerary trip planning piece. So let's dive right in. The first one is Kerry Park. I wanted to start out with something that's not as popular, but is very impactful to your trip. Seattle is a gorgeous city. There's a lot to see, the water, the buildings, and at Kerry Park, there's an overlook where you can see the huge skyline. I went there multiple times over the month that I was there, and I do not regret a second of it. It's gorgeous during the day, it's gorgeous at night, it is completely free, and I highly recommend it. The other thing that I really like about the area is if you keep walking up, you'll basically walk yourself into the Upper Queen Anne area where there's a ton of really cool shops, a really nice place to hang out. There's also the Queen Anne Coffee Co., which has really good coffee. The sandwich that I get there, it's this turkey sandwich, was delicious. I got it twice. Also, if you're traveling with children, right below the overlook, there's some stairs, there's a little playground, so that's something to keep the little ones interested as well. The second one is the Space Needle, and if you've done any research at all, I'm sure this has come up for you, but I wanted to talk about it anyways because it's something to know about. It is the most iconic structure in Seattle, I would say. So basically, it is an observatory deck that gives you 360-degree views of the entire city, and it is truly well worth it. The price on the Space Needle website for a person aged 13 to 64 is $32.50 to $39. That's probably just dependent on the day of the week. I'm not really sure, but you can sometimes find tickets a little bit cheaper on Get Your Guide and things like that. On the trip to the elevator, you see a ton of information about the construction of the Space Needle. It's actually very interesting, so I recommend you look at that. It takes 43 seconds to get 520 feet up in the air, and it deposits you up at the top floor. Up there's glass windows, there's glass benches. You can sit on the benches, you can lean on them, you can stand on them, whatever. The walls are kind of angled backwards, so it feels kind of really scary to lean back, but you get really cool pictures. If you're traveling alone, they have these things where you can scan your ticket and it'll take pictures of you by yourself. The nice thing about it is I've been to some observatory decks in other cities where you get a couple seconds and it's take your pictures and leave, but with the Space Needle, you can stay up there as long as you want. And then there's a bar and you can get food and kind of just hang out and things like that. And then you can go downstairs and there's a second floor that's a glass floor. It rotates with you, so you kind of just can sit there and you're sitting on the glass and you look down. So that, without hesitation, if you're going to Seattle, you should do at least once. In favor of going in some cohesive order, we're going to go to the attraction that is literally right next to the Space Needle, and that is the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum. Now, this one can often be bought in a ticket in a bundled price with the Space Needle, so if you're going to see both, I recommend doing that. Again, on the Space Needle website, you can buy both for the regular ages 13 to 64 for $59.50 to $64.50. This museum features Dale Chihuly's artwork, and I will say that the first time I was in Seattle, my husband and I were only there for a day, and we kind of just skipped this one altogether because we're we're not really museum people. And I'm here to tell you that when I was there for a month, I decided to just go and check it out, and it honestly is breathtaking. It's very well worth it. All of the artwork is made out of glass, and it is just these beautiful, huge structures, very colorful, very vibrant. There's an indoor part that's the museum, you kind of just walk through, and then outside there's the garden part where they're literally just out in the open, these structures. It's really, really beautiful. They have a little cafe in there as well where I got a Caesar salad. It was delicious. They have accordions up on the ceiling, so that's really cool. And then outside in the garden area, they have demonstrations where they show you glass blowing techniques, and then also you can go in and kind of watch little snippets about Dale Chihuly and watch things being made. Definitely add that to your itinerary. Number 4 is the International Fountain, and I figured since we're already talking about the Seattle Center area, which holds the Space Needle, Chihuly Glass Museum, and Seattle Armory where there's a food court and everything like that, I figured I would mention this as well because it's right there and it is free. Basically, it's just this gorgeous fountain, but it's in this park. It's right by everything. You can see the Space Needle. Just a really nice place to kind of chill. You can sit, hang out with your family, relax. Great to take photos in front of. Little kids will go and run through it. It's just really fun. It's a really cool thing to do, so I recommend adding that to your itinerary as well. Now we're gonna move into a total different part of the city. This is more of the downtown area down by the water. That brings us to number 5, which is Pike Market. If you've ever seen photos of Seattle, you may have seen the big public market sign. That is Pike Market. Pike Market is basically this ginormous market. They have typical things you would see at the market: fruits, vegetables, samples, but they also have all different kinds of like stores and crafts. It's honestly very well worth it for, I would say, anyone of all ages. And there's a Pike Place fish market where they throw fish back and forth and they yell. It's like a show. Like everyone just crowds around at all times and watches, and it's so cool. Right in that area as well, there are restaurants right on the water, so you can get like fresh fish, like fresh seafood. And for that, you kind of control how much you spend. Really, it's just like what you want to buy. But even if you would just like walk around, I swear it is so much fun and so worth it. Moving on to number 6, we have the original Starbucks. And if you are a Starbucks fan, it is definitely something to check out when you're in this area. It's located right in the same general area. It's right outside the market. Now, factor in that there probably will be a wait. I would say that each time I went, I waited like about 30 minutes. I'm sure that depends on what time you go and everything like that. But it's really nice because as you're waiting in line, there's so much to look at because you're also in the market area, so you can look at everything. The energy is good, and sometimes they'll bring out little samples, so that's really fun too. Apart from it being like the original Starbucks, it really isn't anything like super special as far as what it looks like inside. However, it's so cool because they do have the original logo. There's places like outside to take pictures, and the employees standing outside will take your picture. They do have different merchandise there, so things that you can't get anywhere else, like they will have there. And then everyone's just like friendly. It's just like really nice. So I recommend that if you're a Starbucks fan. It's just really cool to check out and be able to say that you were there. Number 8 is the gum wall. Right by the Pike Place Fish Market is the entrance to the gum wall. You walk down some stairs, and it's basically this entire alley where there is gum, like chewed gum, stuck all over the walls on both sides of the wall. And really the thing to do there is just walk through, see it, take pictures, chew some gum, spit it out, put it on the wall. So that's really it. It's free. It's a fun activity. It's really neat because it's like so cool. Like it honestly is. It's like, where else do you see that? But it's gross. Like it's definitely gross, but it's still so cool. You get some really, really great pictures there. So I do recommend going, and it doesn't take you very long. Number 8 is the Seattle Aquarium. And again, it's super, super close. You leave the gum wall and you kind of just go down and like walk towards the water, and then it's like over to the right. On the way there is the Great Wheel. So if you're interested in doing that at the aquarium, I feel like that's not something I would normally recommend, but it was just honestly so fun. Now I did go with a little girl, so it's so much fun seeing things through the eyes of a child. One thing that was really cool is how most aquariums have like the touch tanks. They had sea urchin, sea cucumbers, sea anemone, starfish, all of these things in these like ginormous touch tanks. And we spent so much time there because you could stick your finger in, and like the sea urchins will kind of like grab your finger, or you can touch the anemone and it like sticks. Something about it was so fun. And of course they had sea lions and sea otters, which are just so precious. The sea otters are so playful, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed seeing them. Also, they have a cafe in there, and I got like the Hawaiian bowl. It was super healthy, super good. Looking at the website now, it looks like prices kind of vary. So I'm seeing some from $26.95 up to like $34.95. So the prices there definitely vary. So just make sure that you check before you go. Number 9 is the Starbucks Roastery. This is in a different part of the city than we've talked about before. Definitely different than any Starbucks you've ever been to. They have a total different menu, total different merchandise. It's really big in there. So you kind of walk into all of the merchandise, and then they have like a pizza bar over here. The pizza, so good. Definitely get the pizza. They have like other foods. They have like a bar, and then they have like kind of a main area in the center where there's like drinks and things. I would say it's kind of strange because they don't have like the classics. Like you would think like, oh, I'll order a caramel macchiato, pink drink. They don't have that. They have stuff that's like way more fancy though. Like they'll have like ice cream with espresso, and everything comes out in like cute bowls and cute cups. It's a lot more aesthetic. It's a lot more fun. I'll say the 2 coffees that I've gotten there I haven't really liked. I tend to like sweet coffee, and like they were a little more bitter. Like I got like a hazelnut latte and then just like a vanilla latte. They weren't very good, I didn't think, but I think the experience is something so great. And if you're someone that's more of like a coffee purist, like you like black coffee, or you just like really like to try things, there's a ton of seating. And then you can also see like these really big barrels where you'll see like the coffee beans come down and they swirl them around, and they'll talk to you about them. So it's just a really fun experience. So I definitely recommend doing that. It's free to get in, so the price is just how much you want to spend on like food and drink, but you have to eat anyway. So it's not like it's anything extraordinarily expensive. Probably more than a typical Starbucks, but definitely manageable. Number 10 is something that I wouldn't necessarily go out of your way for, but if you are with a group of friends and you're looking to have a good time, it is definitely worth it. It is Aussies. Aussies is a little dive bar, and I feel kind of silly saying little because it's not super little. There are 2 levels, but it is a karaoke bar. And so there's like the typical like bar food, but then they have karaoke, I think every night or like most nights. And on the weekends, like it'll be upstairs, and it's just like this big event. And it's so cool because I went just to like purely listen, and it's just like really fun. Like everyone's there to just have a good time. It's chill, it's fun, it's just like a good environment. If you're with friends and you're kind of just like wanting to go and chill and like have a good time, like laugh, you know, be silly, it's a really good place to check out. That concludes my 10 things. I hope it was helpful. If you are planning a trip to Seattle and you have any questions, go ahead and leave those in the comment box below. I would love to answer them. If you want to see more about any of the places listed, in the description box, I will link my other Seattle videos so you can see those. Again, there's a series, there's lots of other videos so you can kind of see this stuff in more detail. I hope you loved it. I love my time in Seattle, so if you're you're going. I'm really excited for you. If you got value out of this video and you enjoyed it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel and lifestyle content. I love you all so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.